Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about why for as tense as the Boruto and Kashin Koji dynamic appears to be, it's about to get even more tense before it's all said and done, because this is one aspect of the relationship that I don't think we paid too much attention to, enough attention at that, which is how Kashin Koji, being as coldly logical as he is, he has a couple of more decisions planned out that will go directly against the very nature of Boruto and have the potential to shake up the entire Boruto 2 Blue Vortex as we expect it to go. Grab those ramen bowls for this newest Naruto Explain video, where we take a deep dive into why Kashin Koji is a bigger problem for Boruto than Boruto might have ever expected. So Kashin Koji's potential betrayal of Boruto in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, it would be a calculated and pragmatic move rooted in his role as a singularity of fate, as a guardian of the planet, and his understanding of the Otsutsuki threat and his ability to see the bigger picture that Boruto, due to his emotions and attachment, might overlook. Given Koji's ominous depiction when Boruto talks about restoring his family and his clear knowledge that Momoshiki remains an existential risk, it makes sense that Koji has a backup plan that Boruto's unaware of, one that possibly involves eliminating Boruto himself. Gasp, shock, awe. Feel the heartbreak like Cena fans felt recently. If you know, you know. So Kashin Koji's ultimate goal versus Boruto's goal, those are two things that are clashing. Boruto is focused on stopping Jura, an immediate threat to the planet. Kashin Koji is focused on stopping all Otsutsuki threats, which includes Jura, the Ten Tails, and Boruto himself, since Boruto's body is still a vessel for Momoshiki. We cannot overlook that. Koji has already taken risks by training and powering up Boruto, but he knows that this means that Boruto is now even a potentially stronger body for Momoshiki to hijack, but it was a necessary evil. If they're going to stop Jura, he has to make Boruto stronger. Momoshiki, you deal with that after the fact. Unlike Boruto, who we see is holding on to hope for a future where he restores his family and everyone gets to live happily ever after, Koji may believe that this hopeful vision, it is unrealistic, or that it's even dangerous because it does not factor in the certainty that Momoshiki remains an ever-present risk. It also lends itself to why Boruto is a liability. Boruto is Momoshiki's vessel, and Momoshiki has already attempted to take over in the past, as recently as when Boruto tried to use karma to assist Sasuke in fighting Code, and Momoshiki said, "Finally, my time has come." Any information that Kashin Koji shares with Boruto, it is automatically known to Momoshiki, meaning that Kashin Koji can't fully trust Boruto. The same way that Konoha, for as much as they work with Ada, they still communicated behind her back. Kashin Koji has not been fully forthcoming. There has been no confirmed way to remove Momoshiki from Boruto's body, meaning that as long as Boruto's alive, Momoshiki has a chance of resurfacing and consuming the planet while controlling Boruto's body. If Koji has seen a future timeline where Momoshiki fully revives by taking Boruto, this would only reinforce his belief that Boruto is an unavoidable threat. The fact that Boruto preemptively gave Kawaki permission to kill him if Momoshiki ever hijacked, it strongly implies that Kashin Koji has a reason to believe an event could happen, or it might have happened in an alternate future that never came to pass, making it logical for Kashin Koji to have a contingency plan of his own in order to prevent this scenario. After all, what good is it that you destroy Jura only for Momoshiki to hijack Boruto and become an even bigger threat? Yes, Jura, the main Ten Tails, would be destroyed, but one thing that we should know based off of what we've seen with the Otsutsuki is that you never count them out. There's usually some other contingency plan. Kashin Koji having a betrayal of Boruto, that's where it gets very interesting. Kashin Koji's John Cena and Boruto is Stardust. If you get the reference, you get the reference. And if you caught the reference, then you probably laughed your ass off when you saw the thumbnail for the video. Oh, the joys of being able to buy custom artwork. Koji may have already decided that Boruto must die, but he knows that Boruto, as a singularity of fate, he is still useful for right now. Koji cannot outright tell Boruto about this plan because, number one, Momoshiki will learn of it. Momoshiki will say, oh, are you going to kill me? I'm going to have you go on to Pelican Bay if you keep playing with me. Boruto would also resist it, making it a lot harder to eliminate him because Boruto's not going to go along with that. The timing also has to be something precise. Kashin Koji might be waiting for a moment when Boruto's guard is lowered after everything is done, or when Momoshiki is vulnerable. Maybe there's a way to save Boruto without having to kill Boruto. We don't know. The ominous imagery surrounding Kashin Koji whenever Boruto speaks about restoring his family, it suggests that Koji already sees Boruto's optimism as being foolish. We saw it when he said, I don't want to kill Kawaki, and he's looking at him like, does he really believe what he's saying? And now the same thing with restoring the Uzumaki family. Is possibly because Kashin Koji believes Boruto will have to be sacrificed in order to prevent such a disaster, which that would be heartbreaking. A scenario where Kashin Koji betrays Boruto would likely involve underhanded methods, possibly attempting to assassinate Boruto at a crucial moment when all the dust is settled, when he's at his weakest or least expecting it. This makes even more sense when you look at the Momotaro folktale and the relevance to Kashin Koji's potential betrayal. Again, for those of you guys who are new to the channel and do not know this, Momoshiki's character is based off of the Momotaro Peach Boy folktale. So Momoshiki's character being heavily inspired by not just Momotaro because of the name, but also the demon-like Oni from those folktales. And then Kashin Koji's pragmatic role, it can be parallel with the hidden wisdom in these stories. In the folktale, Momotaro is a heroic boy born from a peach who grows up to defeat the demons that terrorize that land, in particular the ogres. Ogres are what the Otsutsuki have been referred to in the light novels. Light novels written by Kodachi and even Kishimoto's original script, and Kishimoto's original design for Fuse Momoshiki was an ogre. So the Oni, they represent chaos, greed, and destruction, much like the Otsutsuki clan, who invade planets and consume their energy. Momoshiki, despite being modeled after the hero of the story, Momotaro, ironically represents the Oni in the Boruto story as he seeks to devour the planet, and that fits in line with what we know Kishimoto has done in the past, and even Ikimoto writing Boruto. Both of them take things that we've seen and completely flip them on their head. Classic example again being the Ashuras are viewed as being the bad guys and the Indras are viewed as the good guys, but in the Naruto story, the Indras are the bad guys and the Ashuras are the good guys. Who would have thought it? The other thing is that it's a common narrative in Japanese folklore that demons must sometimes be defeated through deception or through sacrificing something important, paralleling how Kashin Koji might justify killing Boruto, an innocent soul, as something tragic but necessary action. Gotta remember, nature versus nurture. Who raised Kashin Koji? Amato. Amato would not be above doing something like this. If Kashin Koji is acting in a similar role to an old master or strategist that we see in these stories, he may recognize that Boruto, like a cursed warrior, he's already been marked for destruction due to his Otsutsuki ties due to the Koma seal, and thus must be eliminated before it's too late, and really killing him is doing him a mercy kill. Now, when it gets into how Kashin Koji might try and kill Boruto, since Kashin Koji is a clone of Jiraiya, he shares tactical intelligence and deception skills. We've seen as much, meaning his method, it could be straightforward, but it could also be something a lot more calculated. Possible ways that Koji could eliminate Boruto could include biding his time, waiting until Boruto severely weakened, perhaps after a battle with Jura, then striking Boruto when he cannot fight back, exploiting Momoshiki's influence. If Boruto starts to lose control of Momoshiki, Momoshiki could frame his attack as necessary in order to restore the singularity of the timeline he's trying to protect. It could also lead to something like sealing instead of killing. So if outright murder is too risky, Koji might opt for sealing Boruto away permanently, much like how Naruto and Hinata were sealed. That could be why, and we've done a video on it, that could be why Kawaki sealed away or is attempting to seal away Boruto in the flash forward sequence of Boruto Part 1. That also leads to the second part. Kashin Koji using another player, manipulating someone else and doing the job for him, such as Kawaki, who's already sworn to eliminate Boruto if Momoshiki takes over, and we know again he's attempting to seal him away in the flash forward sequence. There's also the potential of a last resort kill switch or sealing tag. If Kashin Koji has seen the worst possible outcome where Momoshiki takes over, he might have prepared a final contingency, a jutsu sealing tag or a tool that would instantly kill Boruto if Momoshiki ever fully emerged and maintained extended control of his body. In conclusion, I'll say this: I think it's a tragic necessity for betrayal. I think that we can't rule out something like this being something Kashin Koji has on his mind. Kashin Koji is a pragmatic character. He has an ultimate goal of protecting the planet. It makes it entirely reasonable that he has a backup plan for eliminating Boruto. Unlike Boruto, who is emotionally invested in his family's future, Kashin Koji, he's coldly logical. He isn't as whimsical, and he is willing to make the hard decisions. He likely understands that Momoshiki, he is a ticking time bomb, and that Boruto is not only a liability but also possibly the greatest Otsutsuki threat due to his unique role as a singularity of fate and possession of so many jutsu that every possible version of Boruto learns in the future. Thus, if the decision in the situation demands it, Koji could betray Boruto, not out of malice, but out of necessity. Whether he succeeds or not, it depends on Boruto's ability to purge Momoshiki or prove that Kashin Koji's fears are wrong, which obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and clicking over here on the left to check out this new video from Naruto Explained, or click over here on the right to check out this video from my Anime Explained channel, where I talk about non-Naruto content in the form of video essays, chapter reviews, lore videos, explained videos, and so much more.